AI. It's taking over the world. It can drive cars, make hyper-realistic videos, and now we'll be putting it to the test by making it play Pokemon Fire Red. Here's the deal. I'll be playing the game normally until an important decision must be made. Things like naming a Pokemon, teaching moves, using a move during a battle. All that will be left with the ChatGPT, and how that'll work is that I'll type the situation into ChatGPT, and whatever it says is what I'll do. That's it. Some other rules would be that it's going to be a Nuzlocke. I'm playing on set mode, and I'll be using rare candies just for time's sake. I'll also be putting screenshots of the chat logs for ChatGPT, as you can see right now. Also, ChatGPT will be handling the starter choice. Here we go. For the first battle, I just give ChatGPT information about the previous turn, and what it says is what I'll do. Also, I'm not allowed to give advice during the battles, so like, I'm not allowed to say, oh, why are you doing this? Do this instead. During the battle, I will be providing advice afterwards, but spoiler alert, it doesn't really help that much. This battle doesn't go so well, but hopefully the next one will. At first, I asked ChatGPT what to buy from shops, but it becomes super tedious and it doesn't always spend all the money for whatever reason. So eventually I just start making the choices for that. Here we are at Brock's gym, and immediately we see that ChatGPT is not that great at deciphering type matchups because it uses Tackle instead of Vine Whip. Thankfully it uses Leech Seed right after, but it really likes spamming one move, even if you tell it that it's not doing that much damage. Thankfully the Leech Seed just keeps us from getting too low, and he's able to spam his way through with Tackle. Alright, out comes Onyx, and it finally realizes that Vine Whip is the way to go, and surprise surprise, it wins the battle. And I just show you that how this move selection shit is gonna work. Also, I know that the screenshots are going by pretty fast. I'm not exactly sure what would be the best way to show the screenshots. You can pause to read them if you want, but I promise that I'm doing whatever ChatGPT tells me. Right, here we are at Gary, the second Gary, and I make the mistake of leading Ivysaur. I didn't know that it was going to be Pidgeotto coming out first. He uses Leech Seed, which is decent, but I'd really prefer if it switched. But I don't know why it likes using Vine Whip all of a sudden. And he heals. It gets past the Pidgeotto by the skin of its teeth, and out comes the Charmander. It uses Leech Seed, but for whatever reason it doesn't heal, and unfortunately Ivysaur goes down. It chooses to go to Rattata, which, you know, takes out Charmander pretty easily. And Abra does literally nothing, it just has teleport, so not that big of a problem. This Rattata is more of a problem. Leaves us at 1 HP, but it also doesn't really understand the nuances of certain moves. It didn't recognize that Quick Attack would go first and win the battle, so it healed. Alright, here we are at Misty. It uses somewhat unorthodox strategies by using focus energy. You never really see that, but it kind of pays off with this Hyper Fang. And then, once again, it doesn't understand some nuances of moves because it uses focus energy again, and that kind of causes some issues. ChatGPT heals. We lose our Rattata because ChatGPT is not that smart apparently. And Stormy here is a real pain in the ass. ChatGPT is like really stubborn sometimes. I'm gonna say that a lot because you could tell it that something is not really doing that well, and it just doesn't listen to you. It just tries to brute force its way through, but it kind of doesn't work when you're not using super effective moves, because you're gonna put the Starmie into healing range or something, and then you're gonna lose much more than you have to. So that's something that ChatGPT struggles with. This battle goes on for a long time. Or this interaction goes on for a long time. Until we eventually lose. And ChatGPT, it's kind of unlucky here with the Jigglypuff. We lose the Jigglypuff, and for whatever reason it decides to go to fucking Geodude. But I think we get lucky because it ran out of water pulses, and now it just uses rapid spin and does like no damage. So that was interesting. Okay, now we're coming up on the next Gary. Switches to Fearow. This time it apparently recognizes the type matchup. It makes that interesting decision to switch from Fearow to Beedrill. And then it switches to Geodude, which is good. It recognizes that strategy was not going to work. Takes out the Pidgeotto. Charmeleon. It does super effective damage, but it's not that bad because we can just take it out with a few magnitudes. Pretty easy. And I don't know what the hell I was thinking here. Changing back to Beedrill for Kadabra. Epic sacrifice. And then back to Geodude. But Rock Throw takes it out pretty well. And I made a little editing mistake here, and I didn't really feel like fixing it. I skipped some turns, but that's my bad. But I don't think anything really important happens. Just take out the Raticate quickly, and that's the end of Gary on the SSN. And this is a little interesting mistake that I made here. I should mention that I overleveled my Geodude, which would have been really nice to have for the Electric Gym. And then I went to go catch a Diglett, but I accidentally killed it, and that was me checking the stats of my Fearow to see what the hell was going on. And here we are in Surge's Gym. It recognizes my strat to use Dig, but then it immediately goes to Bite and disregards my strategy for whatever reason. And it's amazing that none of those moves hit, by the way. Just considering that we only have... Oh yeah, I needed to use the Gloom to get into the gym, so that's why it's fainted into my party. But I only have Fearow and Arbok. And I don't know why it switched to Fearow, because we have a super effective move on Arbok. But this Pursuit here, it crits, and that's amazing. And now we're left at 2 HP in the final Pokemon. We go to Arbok, and I don't know why, but he absolutely insisted on using Glare, even though it's double teaming up and it's preparing to be a pain in the ass later. It's like, use Glare, just use Glare, man, just use Glare. It keeps missing, but hey man, just use Glare. And that finally hits, and watch this. Full heal on the next turn. Fucking amazing. And now it decides to use Dig. And this one hits, and that's not going to happen for a very long time. And I don't know why it switched back to Fearow. It just felt like sacking my last Pokemon. And now we're left with the Paralyzed Arbok and the Raichu that's like +4, +5 on double teams. So I'll just let this footage speak for itself for the rest of this battle. It's just a back and forth healing and double team and missing, and this was a pain in the ass. Close call there. And after a lot of back and forth, we somehow win. You got so fucking lucky with this, I swear. Alright, for Erica, this goes a lot smoother because I lead with Golbat, who has Wing Attack. And thank God that ChatGPT recognized that you can just use Wing Attack and instantly win this battle without much trouble. Like that paralysis, doesn't matter. Just use Wing Attack. Yep. Easy. Angela, use Wing Attack. Yep. It doesn't matter what it does, just spam Wing Attack. Easy battle. And now we're coming up on the next Gary battle. I did Silphco before this, so I'm really over-leveled. Oh, I forgot to mention that I was playing for level caps, but that only applies for gym leaders. So everything goes well in this battle, because Rock type and Ground type moves absolutely destroy Pidgeotto and Charmeleon. But then everything goes to shit once this Execute comes out. Yeah, at first it's not so bad, it just lands a Hypnosis on us, but do some damage, slowly chipping it down. Unfortunately, it doesn't really listen when you tell it that you're not doing that much damage. And I'm going to be saying that a lot, because he never learns. Even with a magnitude 10, that's not enough. And this is when shit starts turning around for the worse. Missing and Hypnosis and Leech Seed, just a perfect storm to ruin my day. And we lose probably our best Pokemon to a fucking egg that's like 10 levels lower. All I had to do was switch to Golbat and Wing Attack. Kadabra, no problem. Gyarados, no problem. It's so weird how it makes decisions. When shit is not going its way, like sometimes it'll switch to and make a horrible switch, or sometimes it'll insist on using the same move over and over again even though you tell it every single time that it's not doing anything. Like, it's really an enigma how this thing makes decisions sometimes. Here we're at Koga. The strat here was to use Snorlax and have it use Psychic. But of course it doesn't go with my strat. It decides to use Body Slam instead on the first turn. But it recognizes that Psychic is the way to go on the next turn. And Muck comes in. It uses Minimize, so Psychic of course misses. And it's like, oh yeah, it didn't work. Let's go back to Body Slam. That was doing well. So of course it hits, and we get poisoned. Body Slam takes out the Muck. And the rest of this battle was just Snorlax sweep. Not really that much of a problem. The poison is whatever. Just use Psychic. Coughing goes down. Wheezing comes in. And ChatGPT kind of likes playing on the edge here. Very close to losing the Snorlax. But thankfully it heals. And just take it out with another Psychic. And boom. And yet another Gary battle. Made the mistake, again, of leading with Hitmonlee. But somehow, despite facing a Pidgeot, we make it through without losing this thing. with some heals and stuff. And that execute strikes again. ChatGPT does not listen when I tell it that Hitmonlee is doing a little damage, and of course he lets Hitmonlee die. Okay, yeah, let me use Brick Break when I'm facing a Psychic type and I'm at 24 damage. He goes into Seadra, he immediately gets paralyzed and confused. No amount of healing can save you from this critical hit. Congratulations, ChatGPT. Goes to Venomoth and goes for Psybeam for whatever reason. And goes for a full heal. And thank God it decides to use Leech Life instead of another Psybeam. Finally take out the Menace, and Alakazam comes out. And I'm surprised that it decided to switch to Haunter here and use the correct move. Thankfully it goes out because Alakazam is a little bitch. Gyarados comes in and switches to Golbat. It's kind of miraculous how my fucking Golbat manages to take out this thing without dying. I'm confused why the Gyarados didn't use Dragon Rage. And now ChatGPT switches to Arbok. Before winning the battle, he insists on losing the whole team before taking out this Charizard. He absolutely insists that everything on the team must die before we can continue. ChatGPT got fucking so amazingly lucky when it came to this battle. And speaking of lucky, let me show you guys a montage of every single time I just barely missed the jackpot while gambling at the game corner. Please enjoy. That took me 40 real-life minutes, by the way. I was going for Shadow Ball for this gym. To teach you the Snorlax, and thankfully ChatGPT recognized this strategy. And with Shadow Ball and Snorlax, this should be a breeze. Gets kinda unlucky with some confusions here and there, but aside from that, the battle goes pretty well. Playing a little bit on the edge here with a low HP Snorlax, but Venomoth is not really that scary. Another confusion. And again playing on the edge, using a full heal instead of a potion. Another confusion. But eventually the fucking thing goes down. In comes Alakazam, and an interesting choice here goes to Lapras. But I guess it gets the job done either way. A little bit slower, but whatever. Didn't lose any Pokemon, so that's fine by me. Alright, Blaine, I don't really have much to talk about here. It's honestly a mistake on the game developers to put a Fire-type gym this late into the game. Especially with how much water type shit you have at this point. You can just sweep through with a one water type Pokemon with Surf. Embarrassing. But I lost to ChatGPT. Alright, for Giovanni, ChatGPT insisted on using Psychic instead of Surf here, which is the strategy that I prepared for it. But it's not all bad, because Nidoking and Nidoqueen are weak to Psychic, so kinda had the right idea. But against that Rhino one, it just took a little bit extra turn. And thankfully, oh god, the crit. Thankfully, Nidoking and Nidoqueen aren't really able to do that much damage to me. Or to ChatGPT, I mean. And with healing, this battle is pretty easy. Couple of Psychics. And thankfully that Earthquake didn't hit, or else I would have lost my ace for this, or the ace would have been lost for this battle. It still doesn't use Surf, even when Dugtrio comes out. And only when Psychic runs out of PP, then it uses Surf. Doesn't really matter, we still won the battle. Here comes Gary. Pidgeot goes down easy peasy, thanks to the Dodrio. Couple of Drill Pecks. Bye bye. Unfortunately, ChatGPT doesn't recognize that Steel Wing would have been super effective. So we go back to the age-old spamming not very effective moves until they brute force us through the battle. Thankfully, Execute was not that big of a problem this time. Just hindered us with some paralysis, but a few Steel Wings take it out. And here comes Alakazam. We almost had the Dodrio sweep, but of course Steel Wing had to miss, and Psychic takes out Dodrio. Go into Snorlax, and the fucking guy decided to get rid of Shadow Ball for a Psychic when I was doing TM shit. So that's 40 minutes of gambling wasted. And this fucking Alakazam tries to disable Snorlax like 5 times in a row. Tries to break its fucking arm so it can't surf anymore. Eventually it works, but Snorlax just sits on his ass and it does the job just as well. Does the same thing against Gyarados. Just body slam a couple times. No big deal, just heal. And final Pokemon. Charizard, just use Surf. Take out the Zard, and our favorite robot is on to the Elite Four. But that'll be for another video, because if I decided to put the Elite Four in this video, this shit would have been 45 minutes long. So, thank you for watching all the way to the end, if you made it here. I'd really appreciate a like or a subscription if you so inclined. This really took me a long time to make. I think I've been working on this video for like a month with all the recording, and honestly the recording took me so long. The editing took me even longer because each one of those screenshots I had to go to ChatGPT and find. So if you want to see a part 2, give me a like. If I get like, I don't know, 10 likes on this shit, I'll edit the second part, because I could not be bothered to edit the whole thing. That's another reason why I didn't make this a whole video. Recording the audio for this video has been pretty weird as well. Like, when it's not me playing, it's kind of hard to commentate about what's happening, because I didn't make the choices. It's all ChatGPT, and of course I don't remember shit that happened a month ago. So please forgive me if this video's commentary is a bit dry. If you're getting tired of Pokemon, I have some non-Pokemon videos coming up on the plan, so look out for those if you care. Either way, thank you for watching. That's all I have left to say. Thank you.